Solène Marchand, a sophisticated and poised 39-year-old owner of a prestigious Los Angeles art gallery, finds her meticulously planned life upended when her ex-husband, Daniel, abruptly cancels a trip to Las Vegas with their 12-year-old daughter, Isabelle. He had promised to take Isabelle and her friends to see their favorite British boy band, August Moon, as part of a lavish silent auction package. Now, just days before her own restorative artist's retreat, Solène is left holding the tickets and Isabelle's baggage. Reluctantly, she agrees to chaperone the girls, sacrificing her own plans for her daughter's happiness. In Las Vegas, the garish city Solène despises, she finds herself in the fluorescently lit bowels of an arena for the band's meet and greet. Surrounded by adoring pubescent girls, she feels entirely out of place in her Alea sandals, a chic Frenchwoman among a sea of middle American Augie moms. When it is their turn, the 5 members of August Moon, Rory, Oliver, Simon, and Liam, are charming and professional. But it is the 5th member, Hayes Campbell, who immediately singles Solène out. With a disarming smile, a mop of dark curls, and piercing blue-green eyes, he playfully teases her, assuming she is Isabelle's older sister. Upon learning she is the mother, his interest only deepens. He insists she join the photo, his arm draped casually around her shoulders. He's 20 years old. The brief interaction is charged, and Hayes invites Solène and the girls backstage after the concert. The show itself is a deafening spectacle of screaming fans and raw energy, but Hayes keeps his promise. In the after-party, amidst models and industry types, he seeks her out. Their conversation is a dance of witty flirtation and surprising sincerity. He's taken with her knowledge of art and her life in Los Angeles, while she is both amused and disarmed by his confidence and charm. He is so much more than the pop star image she had in her head. He asks for the name of her gallery, Marchand Rappel, before she and the girls depart, leaving a thread of possibility hanging in the air. 5 days later, Hayes calls the gallery. He's in Los Angeles for a few days and wants to take her to dinner. Startled but intrigued, Solène tries to deflect, suggesting a more casual meeting, but he is persistent. They settle on lunch at the romantic Hotel Bel Air. When she arrives, he's already there, his face lighting up with a joy that unnerves and thrills her. Their meal is an intimate revelation. He shares a secret about losing his virginity to his best friend Oliver's older sister, Penelope, and she opens up about her divorce and her passion for her work. The chemistry is undeniable, culminating in Hayes holding her hand beneath the table, his thumb stroking her pulse point in a gesture so intimate it leaves her breathless. They establish an unspoken arrangement to see what happens, to make it up as they go. He wants to buy whatever she is selling, and she realizes she is no longer content with just the idea of a fling. Their affair begins in earnest in New York City, where Solène is attending the Frieze Art Fair. The scale of Hayes' fame becomes terrifyingly clear as she navigates swarms of fans to meet him at his hotel. In the chaos of his suite, filled with his entourage, he is a vision of calm command. But the moment they are alone on his terrace overlooking Central Park, the world falls away. She kisses him for the first time, a spontaneous act born of a profound attraction that has moved beyond the physical. Later that night, they meet at a moody hotel bar in Soho. Fueled by scotch and desire, their flirtation escalates. In her hotel room, he teases and pleasures her with an expertise that belies his age, bringing her to an earth-shattering orgasm without them ever having full intercourse. He leaves his new Tag Heuer watch behind, a clever excuse to ensure he will see her again.
He lures her to the Côte d'Azur in France, where he and the band are staying at a lavish villa. Here, Solène is confronted with the realities of his lifestyle: poolside models, endless champagne, and the other band members, including the elegant but inscrutable Oliver. A difficult phone call with Isabelle, who has just gotten her period for the first time, starkly contrasts Solène's glamorous escape with her responsibilities as a mother. The guilt is sharp, but her desire for Hayes is stronger. They spend an idyllic day on a yacht to Saint-Tropez, but their privacy is shattered by paparazzi. Back at her hotel in Cannes, they finally make love. The experience is transcendent, erasing the memory of her passionless marriage. Hayes is tender and attentive, and the physical connection deepens their emotional bond. The relationship intensifies over the following months. They meet in the Hamptons, where a tense encounter with Oliver hints at a troubled history between him and Hayes. Solène also has a revealing conversation with Oliver's girlfriend, Charlotte, who confirms that Solène is Hayes's quintessential type, an older, sophisticated woman. Back in Los Angeles, Hayes visits Solène's home, a significant step. He gives her a $14,000 painting from her gallery that he knew she loved, a grand gesture that leaves her in tears. Their physical intimacy grows more reckless and passionate, mirroring their deepening feelings. At her gallery's next opening, his presence creates a stir, but he is unwavering in his public support of her, cementing his role in her professional life. For her 40th birthday, he flies her to Paris. The trip is a whirlwind of romance and indulgence. He confesses he has been reading art books to better understand her world. At a dinner with her art world friends, he holds his own, impressing them with his unexpected insights. The facade of a casual fling has completely crumbled. In a moment of raw vulnerability, he tells her he is falling in love with her. She is terrified, but can no longer deny her own feelings. The public nature of their relationship, however, begins to take a severe toll. Paparazzi photos of them on a boat in Anguilla, where he is performing oral sex on her, are leaked. The images, though blurry, go viral. Solène is thrust into a cruel spotlight. The backlash is immediate and brutal. Her social media is flooded with hateful, misogynistic, and ageist comments from Hayes' fans. The harassment escalates from online threats to real-world intimidation. Her gallery is vandalized with the words "Die whore," and she receives a dildo in the mail at her home with a threatening note. The fallout with her family is just as devastating. Her ex-husband Daniel is appalled, threatening her with the loss of Isabelle by questioning her fitness as a mother. The most painful consequence is the effect on Isabelle. Once a devoted Augie, she is now a pariah at school, tormented by classmates who taunt her about her mother's relationship. One day, Isabelle comes home shattered after a senior boy she has a crush on suggests he'll be ready for her mom when he turns 18. Seeing her daughter's profound pain, Solène understands the true cost of her happiness. The foundation of their mother-daughter bond is cracking under the strain. Meanwhile, the dynamic within the band also fractures. In Sao Paulo, a vicious argument erupts between Hayes and Oliver. It is revealed that Hayes' relationship with Oliver's sister Penelope was more recent and complicated than he had let on. The confrontation turns violent, with Oliver breaking Hayes' nose just minutes before a show. The incident exposes the deep-seated resentment and secrets simmering beneath the surface of their friendship. Solène flies to Japan to meet Hayes for the last leg of his tour, knowing she must end things. The trip is a poignant, painful farewell. They are deeply in love, but the external pressures have become insurmountable. He reveals he has been approached by major producers about a solo career, a sign of his own evolution beyond the band. In a last desperate attempt to save their relationship, he quits August Moon, believing his fame is the only obstacle between them. Horrified, Solène rejects his sacrifice. She explains that she cannot let him abandon his dream for her, nor can she continue to subject Isabelle to the torment his fame brings. To force a clean break and spare him further pain, she tells him a devastating lie, that perhaps it was never him she loved, but simply the idea of him. Heartbroken and shattered, he leaves. In the months that follow, Solène is a wreck, grieving the loss of the man she loves. The calls and texts from Hayes eventually stop. One night, Isabelle finds her mother crying and comforts her, a role reversal that signals a mending of their own bond. Isabelle confesses her own guilt for not being strong enough for them, but Solène assures her that the relationship was always impossible. Weeks later, Hayes appears on her doorstep unannounced, having flown from Europe between tour dates. He is a ghost, emotional and pleading. He tells her he went back to the band, but that he will never stop loving her. They make love one last time, a desperate, passionate collision of love and loss. In the morning, he is still there, naked and vulnerable in her bed. He has quit the band again, certain it is the only way for them to be together. In that moment, Solène makes the most difficult choice of her life. She tells him to go back to his life, to his music, to his future. She cannot be the Yoko Ono of August Moon, the woman who destroyed his dream. She cannot build her happiness on the ruins of his career or her daughter's well-being. With a final, crushing goodbye, she closes the door on Hayes Campbell, choosing her life as a mother and an individual over a love that was as perfect and consuming as it was impossible.